Hello there you guys, and welcome back to another video. Or if it's your first time, welcome to the channel. As you can tell by the title, I'll be talking about my itsy bitsy problem, my new ant colony upgrade, and the Shrimpen Union. Let's get right into it. Because I don't want to start on a bad note, I'll be starting on a fairly good one, with my Tetramorium colony, which you can see here. Now, I'll be adding a new feeding dish. That is our upgrade. It is made of plaster that I have broken up from a Smithsonian gem dig and then carved to my liking. I've also then taken a broken bit of Christmas tree from our plastic tree in my house and super glued it on. Don't worry, as long as you use cyanamacrylate super glue, I used Gorilla Glue for example, not sponsored by the way, and it works perfectly. I then took a Q-tip, cleaned out the bowl or basin bit in the middle, which you can see is kind of dirty in the shot, but I did it off camera, of course. I'm not going to show you that ugly task. And in here, I also have my inverted tweezers. But anyways, I cleaned it up with one side of the Q-tip, then covered the other side of the Q-tip, and plus a little bit in the basin with the same cyanamacrylate super glue gel by Gorilla Glue, and I coated the inside of that little basin. Here you can see me placing in their new feeding dish. And by the way, this colony still needs a name, so leave your suggestions in the comments. I then proceeded to replace the lid with an exceedingly large amount of difficulty. I don't know if you all have this problem too, but when you're trying to put on one of these clamp lids with just one hand, it's a bit difficult. However, even when I did finally get it situated, I viewed it from the side to make sure none of the fronds from the fake leaves had gotten up on the inside of the lid's lip. However, they had, so I had to do it again, which I did off camera. Now, for the itsy bitsy problem. Now, the problem as a whole isn't exactly itsy bitsy. It's a bit of a mite infestation in my mealworm habitat. It's not very much of a habitat anymore, as they have sculpted it to their liking, which isn't necessarily to mine. But, as you can see by these little dots, those are all mites. As you can see, if you look closely, they are actually moving. I then began my routine check of checking every single lip on this nightstand to make sure none of them had escaped. Of course, some of them had, and I did have to deal with them. You'll see how small they are in comparison to the tip of my finger. I could probably fit 100 just on the tip of my pinky. Okay, maybe not that much. But you may be wondering right now why it's called an itsy bitsy problem, even though the problem isn't itsy bitsy. Well, that's because the problem is caused by itsy bitsy things. Here you can see those little tan splotches. Those are actually mite colonies that have congregated on the tissue paper. I've known of this problem for a little while, and so this was my first line of defense. It sadly didn't work and encouraged them to move even closer to the openings. As you can probably tell by just looking at all of these different places in which mite colonies exist, that there are very many of them. But now to a brighter note, the Shrimpen Union. Now, those of you older viewers of my channel may be wondering, what's the Shrimpen Union? Did he get new shrimp? And the new viewers may be wondering, what is the Shrimpen Union? It's basically the same question. Now, for those of you older viewers who have been here for a little while longer than the newer viewers, the Shrimpen Union is the new name of the amano masses, my 3 amano shrimp. You can see a few hanging out everywhere because it's so difficult to find them, and I've spotted them in so many different places. I have to look in so many different places. Now, it gets a little bit difficult, and sometimes I don't even find all 3. But the reason why the name has changed is because I finally got another comment on the video about I hate myself, not really. I got 2 new amano shrimps. That was the video. If you want to go check it out, links in the description, and it's also probably up in the iCard around now. I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, I'm doing this voiceover just now. But the name changed because I finally got another comment on that video other than my other account. As you can probably tell, we are now back at my mealworm tub. Just checking again because they move fast. I could have killed them all and then they'd all be back in just a little while. As this filming process did take a little while, I did have to revisit their tank. It's a really big problem, and there's the mite on my finger, if you're able to find it. Don't know if you were able to, but I just kind of squished it. Just taking a few more. They don't really die just by a swipe of your finger. You kind of have to swipe up your finger, find them on your finger, and then squish them with a different finger. It's kind of gross and gory, but it's what has to be done. As you can see in these upcoming few clips, that there are actually quite a few mites. I already killed them all that were on that little clamp before, but they're already back after just around 30 minutes of filming the former amano masses, now the Shrimpen Union. But just look at them all. There's so many, it's hard to kill them all. It's really difficult to know what to do. However, in the past few days after recording this, I did end up saving the last mealworm that's still alive, and I will show you footage of that one mealworm a little bit later. But anyways, I did have to set the thing outside. I put it out overnight. They're still probably in there right now, as I was just gone on a 2-day trip. I am now searching for the last mealworm, and while I'm doing this, you can just see the absolute devastation, and I believe that I'm about to find it. But there's also a pupa in this tank, which I will show you right around now. It's right there. No, not the mealworm, the little beetle next to it. Now, I didn't know it at the time, but that beetle is actually dead. It's already fully pupated. I'd been watching that pupa for a very long time. It's fully pupated, but it's actually dead. I also found that out when I went to save it. when I went to get rid of the mites. And then just looking around for this one mealworm, it's really devastating to me to see all of this destruction while I'm searching for the sole survivor of this chaotic and sad event. It all started when the room began to get cooler because the winter had started officially. And then their metabolisms went down, they didn't eat as much, and so the fruit that I gave them began to mold. They began to die from the mold. The mites had a surge in population because they didn't have to compete with the mealworms anymore, and they just exploded in population, and there was nothing I could do. All I could do was sit by and watch the events play out and watch the mealworms that I tried so hard to find die. However, no matter what happens, I will not leave you all on a sad note, because look at this. 4 of the Tetramorium ants are out. 1, 2, 3, 4, they're out. However, only one would go on to explore the new bounties, and that'll be up in the iCard video about now. So remember, if you like my content, please do remember to like the video. If you really enjoyed it or you found it helpful, please do remember to subscribe. Also remember to comment. This colony of ants needs a name. And also please do remember to share this video with your friends, enemies, and frenemies. Animal Introvert out.